Hello, level 3 trainer, CrossFit Candice.
Hello, other level 3 CrossFit trainer.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I bet you're feeling pretty good today.
I do feel pretty good.
How'd it feel to wake up as a CrossFit level 3 trainer today?
Honestly, pretty freaking tired, but it's good.
Had a big day yesterday.
It's a big day.
All right, so we're going to talk about the CrossFit level 3 exam, what it means to be a CrossFit level 3 trainer, and all the things in between.
We haven't talked about it yet. You started to ask me questions this morning and you're like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to know yet.
Yeah. I did want to know, but I thought we better save it. So it's genuine, you know? So let's go back to when did you decide you wanted to do it? Well, I guess you've always wanted to do it.
Yeah, it was never not an option. I was never going to just do the level 1 or just do the level 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess once I did my level 2,
It was just
that.
the next step.
Yeah, so that was 5. I can't believe it's been 5 years.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So it was probably when they brought it out, because it hasn't been out for that long, maybe 7-ish, 6 or 7 years. So probably when they brought it out, we were like, yeah, this is cool, like something else to work towards. So it was always going to be on the list. When did you decide that you were going to start studying for it? And what did that process look like for you?
Oh, I feel it has been going on for a pretty long time. I've stopped and started a few times just with life things. So I don't even know, but it's definitely been over a year of me being yeah, I'll do it soon. And then just never actually doing it.
Because I think it's been a little bit over 12 months.
Yeah.
Where you've done some study, something's popped up.
Yeah,
You've done some study, something's popped up, and just haven't committed to the exam date.
Yeah.
But you've been studying on and off.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't ever really stop studying. It just wasn't as full on, I guess.
Yeah.
And I, really took this one down to the wire.
Tell us about that.
I'm not a very organized person.
What?
Yeah.
And people, what pisses me off is everyone thinks I'm disorganized and you're organized.
No.
Everyone always goes,
opposite.
really?
Yeah, I'm terrible.
I'm like, she just
but I'm a good pretender.
Presents more organized.
In my head, it's so my credentials run out in 2 weeks. And if I didn't know that it was, it's my own stupid fault, but I was like, oh yeah, I'll just book the exam and it'll be fine. But then when I contacted CrossFit to book it, they contacted me straight back and I was like, amazing. And they were like, hey, so we don't actually know if you're going to get a spot before then. And I was like, I did not realize that it was such a process. And they were like, so you've got 2 options. You have to pay for the exam, but then we can't guarantee there's going to be a time before your credentials expire. And if that's the case, you then need to go and do a level 1 or a level 2 before your credentials run out. And I was like, okay, cool. And the other option was don't do the exam now, don't pay for it, and just go and get yourself on a level 1 or a level 2 course. And I was like, well, neither are ideal options, but I will take my chances and I'll pay for the level 3. And we will pray to sweet baby Jesus that there is a time available.
How many weeks before your L2 was running out did you contact CrossFit?
This was last week. 3 weeks before it ran out.
Makes me feel better.
Would you say you're similarly wired, Rebecca?
I'm organised, but when things get busy, it's the screaming in the head. Yeah.
It's the screaming. And it's funny though, because you've been doing it in your head for so long.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
But why didn't I just book it?
I
think I like the pressure deep down. I know I'll do it if there's a deadline.
And yeah, just from conversations from the very beginning I don't think you'll have to study that much. But you were like, no, I'll do some more.
I'll just keep studying.
You could have passed it with no study, but okay.
I don't know if I would have.
But speaking of that, let's talk about the actual... Okay, no, wait. Let's go through... Because the craziest thing for me about it was the testing center. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I just think that's the coolest part. It's not just you get...
you go to a CrossFit gym and do a test.
Or you open it on your own laptop. It's not like that. Let's talk about what the actual exam centre is.
Yeah, so it's like it's literally called a testing centre, and so it's in the city in Brisbane.
Is it Pearson?
Pearson View, yeah. And there's heaps of different exams going on. So when I was there yesterday, it was full of high school students doing their med school entry exams. And they were so little and cute and scared. So there's just like people coming in doing lots and lots of exams.
Yep.
But you have to like check in, and once you've checked in, you don't leave. Like you hand in all of your stuff, all of your belongings. There's no phones. You're not allowed to have a watch. You're not allowed to have clips in your hair. Like it's like full exam conditions.
Which is cool. And then how long did the exam go for?
It's 4 hours.
4 hours. And then you go into the room. What does the testing room look like?
So it's just like a big room, and it's just got a bunch of computers all like along the walls with all the screens facing in. So the person who works there can see what everyone's doing at all times. And you're in your own little like cubicle, but they can see like you.
And from memory, they're outside the room, but they can see through
Yeah,
a
there's
window.
like a big glass. Yeah.
Feels like a prison.
Yeah, it is like a weird little computer prison.
And for 4 hours with nothing. Like you don't have anything except for that computer screen.
I was so glad that they gave you headphones though. Like that, when I saw those, I was like, oh, thank God.
I don't remember any headphones.
Ah, really? Yeah.
Or maybe I just opted to not know about them.
They were like noise cancelling, like headphones.
So there's nothing playing through them?
No, just like, so it's quiet. Because I guess there's people coming in and out. Maybe just that day as well, because there was probably like
so many people.
more than 50 med kids like in and out the whole time that I was there. So like every time the door opened, you'd be like, oh, who's that?
Which I mentioned to you this morning, my experience was very different. I think there was maybe one or two other people in the like centre the entire time.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so very different experience in that. And then let's talk about the exam itself. I know you can't, we have signs and things, we're not allowed to say too much about what's in it, but if I go through, this is off the CrossFit.com website, and it's the content outline. So the exam is based on 7 different domains. It's screening and ongoing assessment, programming, educating, training, leadership and management, lifestyle education, professional responsibilities. So there is a percentage on each of those as well. Obviously the highest percentage would be around the training. That's what we do. But did anything catch you off guard? Did you think it was going to be more easy? Like, was there anything you can say without saying too much?
I think I was pretty well prepared, like for how hard it was going to be, because obviously you've done it, and not that you could tell me anything that was on it, but
and not because I didn't want to.
No. And I would never. Yeah, and I also would never like put you in that position. Like, just tell me. And there's a couple of like Reddit thread boards that I found that people obviously weren't saying what was on it, but people just being like, oh, I found this really helpful, or I found this really helpful. So just like reading that and being like, oh, cool. Like maybe I'll spend a bit more time reading that stuff. So I felt like I knew how hard it was going to be. And it's a hard exam. I don't think like you were like, you wouldn't have to study. I actually think I really would have struggled if I didn't. Not with the knowledge, but just even like the way they ask questions. I find, it's just different. It's different. And the videos, like there's lots of videos that you have to watch and like answer questions for. And then that same video will come up in 25 questions time and ask a different question about it. But you're like, oh, did I get that first one right? Because if that's right, then this is right. But if that's wrong, then this is wrong, you know? So just like little things like that.
It's very clever. It's very, and I know that we can say this as well because it's out there in the world, but the exam has 160 questions.
Yep.
And 140 of them are marked, and they use the other 20 as test questions for other exams moving forward, which is pretty cool. When I did it, there was not really much on Reddit. There wasn't really much out in the world. Yeah. There's a lot of study groups out there now to like study this. This is what I spoke to CrossFit Kate and Benny Newland.
They had just said it.
They had both done it, and I was like, what do I need to do? And they both said the same shit. It was just like L1, L2, know your shit, know it back to front. And that's CrossFit like Kids, Asian adults, like do all of the courses that you can.
Towards the end, that's what I ended up doing. Like once I booked it in last week, I was like, okay, time
to really study.
Let's go again. Yeah, the L1 and L2. Like I feel like everything on the exam was in there in some way, shape
Yeah.
or form. And the rest was like common sense about being a good trainer.
Yeah.
So I also found like the programming course really helpful. So CrossFit has like an online programming course, and that was a huge component of that. And I found that super handy. What else did I do? Oh, there's one called Spot the Floor as well, which I'm very bad at the videos. Like,
They're rough, hey?
yeah, because I'm
Super
like,
frustrating.
oh, I could argue that both way, you know, that kind of thing. So just getting used to the way that they ask questions and what they're actually looking for,
Yeah.
I think was helpful. Because I said to you, I think it was last week, and I was like, I feel ready, but I'm just like, I struggle with this type of question. And you were like, you have to answer as a CrossFit coach, not a physio. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Because my physio brain's like, oh, but it could be because of this or this. But I'm like, no, like what does CrossFit want
Yeah.
as an answer? So that was like just being able to frame it like that. And even yesterday I was like, oh, but this. I was like, no, that's not the right answer.
And I think, yeah, always going back to like simple, not easy.
Yes.
And like you would have such a, like you would easily be able to overcomplicate things in your brain to figure out other better ways or whatever.
And
but like what they're looking for are solid CrossFit coaches.
Yes, exactly.
Which is hard when you have like a higher level of knowledge about the human body.
Yeah, just like different as well, I think. But yeah, going back and looking at everything through that frame of mind made more sense for my brain, I think. Because I was like, oh, yeah, okay, the CrossFit answer for this.
Yeah. And then I think we've got a pretty cool community. Like people say they, you know, your members don't like care. Members don't care what level CrossFit you have. They don't give a shit. I think our members do understand that we're always, you know, trying to be better. It's not about just the credential itself, it's what the credential gives you. So our members have been awesome in celebrating you, which is very cool. But what does it mean to you to have this credential? And do you think others should strive for it as well?
Yeah, yes. I know that members don't care, like if you're an L1 versus an L3, but the things you have to know to become an L3 are going to make you a way better coach. Like just it's not just knowing something, it's like deeply understanding it. And I think when you can put the theory into like practical application, like you just have to be better to do that. And I think there is a difference then in those coaches who pursue that higher credential. So I think that coaches should be aiming for it, because even if you fail, you're going to become better just by having to do all of those things. So I think that coaches should do it 100%.
It should be on the list of things you want to achieve. If this is not even if this is your only career, like it should be, if you're someone that works at a CrossFit affiliate, you should want to bring up the entire
industry. Like, let's like lift everyone together. I think, the whole CrossFit like biosphere would be so much better for it if that was something that you had to do eventually or whatever. Absolutely. So I think people should do it. What was the next question?
What does it mean to you to have it?
I think like I just like am so passionate about not CrossFit as a sport, like yes, but CrossFit methodology at its core, what it is and what it does for people. Just knowing that, like, I don't know, I know my shit now, and I like, it feels good to be like among that top like echelon of coaches.
Sorry, what's the percentage?
1 to 1.5%, I think. That's pretty fucking cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Out of all the CrossFit trainers in the world, that's very cool. And like you've always known you've shit, but now you've proven.
Yeah, now I can be like,
shit.
actually, I am good because I know that I actually do know stuff. It's not me just like, I'm good, you know? Yeah. So it is a big deal.
Yeah, I think it is. It's very cool.
And it's like, for people who've never done an L1 or an L2 course or whatever, like it's a lot. Like there's a lot of information.
I think it's the same as, this is an episode just fucking tooting our own horns really, isn't it? I really think it's the same in athletes. When people make something look easy, it's because they've spent hours practicing that. Let's just say a bar muscle up. People that look like they just float to the top and they can do reps on reps on reps. It looks easy. It feels easy at the beginning. And then that's because they've put in the work to be able to get there. I think it's the same when you look at a really good CrossFit coach coaching a CrossFit class. They have spent the hours they have the knowledge, they have the information in their brains, and they know all the aspects that they need to meet to make that class good. So
yeah,
I think
it looks like an easy job.
it looks easy.
Yeah.
For people that don't understand it, even Becky, when she did that little section of the class, commented on that. Like, she was like, this is a lot to think about when you've got a lot going on in your brain and in the room. And then there's the music, and then there's the fan, and then there's the, you know.
It's like a random baby crying.
Yeah. And when you care as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you care
Yep.
that you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
So you are trying to think of all the things.
all of the things. And I think, it can look easy. Like, it can look
Yeah.
like an easy job to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people do think that, like, oh, like you're just a trainer. No, like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It is very cool. But yeah, I'm stoked.
Very good. What else we got to say about it? Is there any other comments you have on it? We've only been going we haven't tooted our horn
This
for long
is
enough.
like not important at all.
Oh,
but why aren't you allowed clips in your hair?
In case you have like notes in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like spice.
And like you spice. Yeah, you
Sorry, I've
like
just been
if you have
thinking
like a
about that
jumper
this
and stuff on, like you have to like show them your arms and make sure there's like nothing written anywhere, and
yeah,
little pat down of your pockets and
little notes.
yeah.
Seriously, it's my favourite part of talking about the L3s. You have to go to their centre. And you're allowed to take anything with you in.
Yeah. Like I've done that before, so I
Yeah.
wasn't shocked, but I remember you being like, this is so wild.
Yeah. I was blown away. Like, I knew that it was at a centre.
Yeah.
But like, they don't really give you that much information.
Yeah. I guess if you didn't know what it was, you'd be like, this is very serious.
Yeah. And I also didn't know that they give you the results straight after.
Yeah.
So I went through like a fucking wave of emotions. Like,
It was
I
a
in there.
lot. Yeah.
You're in there like I have never not talked for 4 hours.
I was like, happy place.
I've like walked out of this room. I'm like, I don't know if I passed or failed. Hello. And like the lady at the desk is like, congratulations, and handed me the thing. I was like, the fuck? What do you mean congratulations? On finishing? What do you mean? And then it's like this. I was like, what?
Wow.
Can we hug? Like,
And then because you're not really allowed to talk, so like they
it's so
give you the piece of
quiet.
paper over the top of the desk and like flip it over. And then I was like, yay. And then he was like, congratulations. Thank you. He's like, you can go now. I was like,
but I want to stay. Like, can we drink or something? Can we have
it was
shots?
like a big like nothing at the end. And I was like, I don't know what to do now. Do I just leave?
I just remember smiling the whole drive home from Brisbane. Like, I can't wait to see someone.
And then I felt like I got the biggest adrenaline dump afterwards. I think because you're just like so focused for that 4 hours. And then, or as the clock was like counting down, because it like tells you how many minutes you've got left. All I kept thinking was like, well, in 40 minutes, you're going to know one way or another. Did you fuck this up or not? Like, you know, this is it. And then like you find out and then you're like, oh, what now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Just done. Just finished. Yeah, it's crazy.
And yeah, just as we talked about as well, the brain space that reappears.
Yeah.
So nice. Just
Felt like my little brain has like, just like it can breathe again.
it's nice.
It's a very nice feeling.
In the lead up, it just gets closer and closer and more compressed, and then it just pretty much takes over all of your thoughts.
Yeah.
You're like, am I good enough? Am I going to pass? Is it going to happen? But you were
I don't
saying-
know what anything means. I don't
Yeah.
know what's an air squat.
I don't know. I don't know anything about an air squat. You said you listened to a podcast where a lady failed 3
Oh my
times.
god! The night before, so
The night before.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah. So most of my study, like I'm not very good at sitting and reading stuff. I like to do like an interactive, like a course. Like I'm good at that, or listening. I love listening to podcasts, and I just listen to them constantly. So a lot of my study was just that, listening to a podcast. And yeah, the night before, oh yeah, because you were coaching that night, and I was at home just like, I don't know, doing the dishes and shit, and I had a podcast on, and I was like, oh, this one looks good. And there was an interview with someone who is now a level 4, and then it was talking about like how hard the L3 was, and she failed it 3 times, and 2 times and passed on the 3rd go. The time before she passed, she took a whole month off work leading up to it to just like study. And then the week before the exam, she stopped studying and just did self-care for the whole week. And I was like, I have made a grave error. Like this is not going to be good.
Holy shit.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's nuts.
Yeah. crazy.
That would not have been a good thing to listen
No.
to the night before going.
And then I was like, okay, we're done with this. I'm going to stop now.
I have listened to one before where I think a chick had failed 3 times.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
passed on. Oh, I don't remember who it was with though. And yeah, I just remember thinking, fuck, that's so
Power to
impressive.
you. Yeah.
Like that you kept going back.
Yeah.
Because that would be pretty defeating and deflating to just, you know, like even you remember doing the L1 and L2s. Oh no, the L2. Did you have an online exam after your L2?
Yes.
Yeah. Ours was in person, but they when you sit down for the exam and like after the end of the day, and then the people that have failed courses before
Come back in. Yeah.
do you remember that as well?
Yeah.
And so you're all sitting there and you're about
And
to
you're like,
sit the final exam for your L1 or whatever it is. And then you look up and there's like all these scared people over at the door. You're like, who the fuck are they? They
Yeah,
haven't
they
been at this
haven't been
course.
here all weekend. Yeah.
It's like, oh, these are,
Oh,
why are
no.
there so many?
Oh dear.
Oh, it's a bit scary. So CrossFit has L1. You just said that lady is an L4, so I thought we better touch on that. There's L1 through to L4. They're not actually holding any L4s at the moment. They put that on hold for some reason a while back. So L1 and L2 are courses.
Like weekend courses.
Yep. L3 is not a course. It is just the exam, which Candace did yesterday and passed. And L4 is just an exam. It is in person. It is a panel of judges. No, what do you call them? I guess they're coaches.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
L4 coaches.
Yeah.
And it's held at a CrossFit gym. You take 2 CrossFit classes. You know what the classes are before. You have to make your own plan for the classes. And then they watch you run very good classes.
Hopefully.
Or not. Or you absolutely shit the bed.
Absolutely shit the bed. Yeah.
So yeah, the L3 and L4 are exams. The first 2 are courses. It's a very cool structure.
It is
I like
very
it.
cool. I like that it doesn't finish.
No.
And even now as an L3, like if you want to go on and do the L4, you can. But even as an L3, you have to get enough like points every couple of years to keep that credential. So it's like you can't just stay where you are. Like you have to keep getting better at stuff, which I really like.
It's very cool.
It's very cool.
I have nothing else to say about it, I don't think. Do you have any other questions?
2. Well,
Oh, good.
one comment.
Thank God. I don't really have...
Just touching on all their different courses as well, like how the range of them. So like scaling, coaching the aging athlete, CrossFit Kids, running, the running
Programming,
course.
Spot the floor.
So 2 things, they're really good. But can anybody do those or only if you've got your level 1? So like members, you know, with the scaling or the running, they want to learn more about running or something like that. Would that be something they could do?
I think so.
I think so too.
I don't actually know 100%, but I do think that anyone can jump online and access those courses and study them. I could be wrong, but I think you can.
I feel like you can. You can definitely. I know you can definitely do nutrition 1 as like a general human.
Yeah.
Which that's a really good course as well. Actually,
Nutrition 1.
the new CrossFit nutrition course. Yeah.
Is it the one that I've done?
Yeah.
I liked components of it.
It's a lot though. It's very
Yeah.
sciencey.
It's very sciencey, which I didn't like. But I feel like yes, I believe it's a very good course. I don't believe I took in nearly half of it based on the science. It's the sciencey stuff. Like I feel like you have to take in a lot of it. You have to have a bit of a background in that stuff to understand it.
I would also argue it's maybe not our scope as well.
For what we need to do with it,
yes.
I don't think
It's not going to
I had
change
to learn all that.
your job, particularly knowing that stuff in detail, I don't think. But
I started the other course that I started, Baxter, for my L3, which it'll be 6 years in September. That's how long ago I have an uncompleted course in my... It's not completed.
I did a little bit for you.
Thank you so much. Is anatomy.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it'd be like basic, and it is so in-depth anatomy. I was
So
like, this is
funny.
fun. I was like messaging Candace before I sat the L3 exam, and I was like, bro, I fucking hope this shit is not in the exam because I do not know the answer.
There were a couple of like curly anatomy questions. I was like, oh, like I'm very glad I have my background answering this because I don't think I would have known that.
I was just ended up Googling to find the answer. I was like, what is this? Just tell me because I don't know. It is an incomplete course. I will get to it one day.
Yeah, just like maybe like one little bit a year
Yeah, maybe.
for the next 3 years. You'll be done.
3 to 6.
You'll be finished.
Yeah, that sort of stuff I would argue, I don't think that we have to know as trainers, as good CrossFit trainers. I don't think they're really in-depth stuff. Like, sure, it'll make you better.
Yeah.
And you can, I don't think you should ever want to stop learning about how far the body goes in all of the ways. And I think you should strive for that. But if you're looking at, the importance of what would be next, I think movement is always going to be like top of the list.
100%. Is there anything CrossFit doesn't do in terms of available like courses now that you wish they did?
Oh, that's a good question. The only thing I can really think about is they've put a little bit more out there on it for affiliate owners now, but I think there should be a little bit more of a requirement to understand a bit more to do with business before opening an affiliate. And I know that they're trying to go down that route now with they have like a playbook that you can access. I don't think it's mandatory though. I don't think you have to do it. I think there should be a level of like, you have to understand a few things before doing it.
Because I think probably same as like you and everyone potentially when you want to open a CrossFit gym, you do level 1, you're like, all right, good to go. And
I
then
like
you're
to help people.
What's tax? Like, how do I have staff? Like, it's just so many things you don't even probably think about until it happens.
I've talked about that a lot, like that first couple of months of getting money in the account, and I was so excited. And I was like, Wills, look how much money we have. And he's like, motherfucker, that ain't ours. I was like, what do you mean? It's in my bank account.
It is mine.
Yeah. It is mine. I own it.
Yeah, I think things like that. And then the toolkit or playbook, whatever it's called, has lots of stuff like creating like operating systems and just things that I think people probably don't think about until it's too late. And then they're like, why is the gym so messy all the time? And like no one knew it was their job to do that.
Yeah.
Just little things.
On that, even to extend on that, I think would be really good for coaches, and in not necessarily just here, but talking to other coaches over the years, I really think there should be something on the art of uncomfortable conversations, because that is such a huge part of being a CrossFit coach, right? If you're a good CrossFit trainer, you can tell people they're doing a shit job in a very good way.
Like, yep.
So, like if you've got a member and they're moving the barbell, like let's use today's workout, the hero workout wrinkle as an example. It's a 70 kilo deadlift, and they just want to do the workout as written. So they chuck 70 kilos in the bar, but you know that weight is too heavy for them. A lot of trainers won't tell them.
Yeah, interesting.
Not in this gym, but a lot of trainers will not tell them that weight is too heavy for them. They will let them struggle. They will let them move like shit because they want them to feel good.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's, as we know, that's not the most important part of coaching. You can't just, like, you want people to feel accomplished, but you want them to be safe. You want them to move well before they, hit that RX button, because that's not what it's about. So I think teaching, I don't know what that would look like, but yeah, something about being able to address things that are uncomfortable for you as a trainer.
Yeah.
Which is conversations with people of varying personalities and differences.
Yeah, and like all ages and
opinions
backgrounds. Yeah, that can be tricky.
It can be tricky for sure. And not just like be really gentle with one person. You might have to be really gentle with one person, but the next person you can be like, oh, dickhead, get the weight off the bar. Like you have to learn the personalities.
How to do that.
And I think that would be a really good course. How would that course would look? I don't know.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I think
What
I'd
about
love
you?
to see more pelvic floor stuff.
Yeah, that makes
I think
sense.
that would be very, very great.
Jordan and I had a really big conversation about that
Yeah.
the other day. What were we talking about? I don't know, something to do with my pelvic floor probably. And he was just like, wow, that's so interesting how different movements can affect the pelvic floor, and you wouldn't think that this would happen. And he's like, oh, so is it like, we were talking about a member that struggled on a certain movement, and he's like, oh, so is it like more endurance? Like, is it like I was like, it can be depending on what the issue is. But he's like, oh, so it makes sense because it's just a muscle like everything else. I was like, exactly. And he's like, you know what? I don't think any dude CrossFit trainers out there would, he's like, broad statement, but would really know anything about this, and they would find it really uncomfortable to talk to women about.
Yep.
So that would be a very good course that you will hopefully create one day for CrossFit.
CrossFit, if you need me, I'm ready. Yeah, I think so. And just, being able to identify, like, because like as coaches, we're like, oh, she's been to the bathroom a lot, or like she's always missing during this there's just things that as a coach, and to be like, maybe this is going on and we need to have a chat about that. But yeah, I think I agree. I don't think most trainers would know.
Jordo also said, he's like, do you think you have many members that don't tell you about it? Do you think that there's many people that like will experience incontinence and not mention it? And I was like, I think we have created enough of a open platform for everyone to feel safe. However, I'm sure that there would be many that are too embarrassed to mention it, to talk about it, to think that it's normal, to think that it's fine, to think that it's just a part of life, and then they would just carry on.
I agree.
And that's even here where we
talk about it so openly all the time. Yep, I'm ready for that one. Yeah, I think that they do have some postpartum and pregnancy stuff, which is good. But I again think that could be better as well.
Yeah, and same goes with this, which we've obviously learned a lot from you being a pelvic floor or a women's health physio. But I don't think it's not as scary as you think it would be learning about it as a trainer. Because we don't have to know everything about it.
You just have to be like, problem, okay, these are some possible things I could do to help that person today.
And it's good because most of the time you will get immediate feedback.
Yeah, you'll know if it's worked or not.
Yeah.
Or if you need to scale it again.
Yeah. So I think that would be something that... And yeah, it's going to happen in this environment.
Yeah.
So it needs to be...
Yeah.
Needs to be talked about more. Needs a course on it. That's a good one. What else, Becky? She's got something. Look at her go.
I had to remember it while you were talking. The difference between... So you've spoken about the difference between 1 and 3. The difference between 1 and 2, the 2 in-person ones.
I'm still scarred from that.
Yeah, it's quite... And they're both intense. I haven't done 2, but in different ways, I imagine. So how are they different? What's the progression between 1 and 2?
For me, the 2... Again, probably just underprepared, don't know. The 2 is like you're coaching and someone's telling you what you're doing badly and then as a coach in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
So you know how in your L1 breakout groups?
Yeah.
And the seminar staff is in the middle and they're doing the teaching.
Yeah.
They're doing the correcting. They're like fixing everything and then making, that's you.
Yeah.
At the L2, you all have to do that on fucking repeat. You're pulled apart. You feel like shit. You're like, why am I ever a CrossFit trainer? You're not getting pulled apart just for your training. You're also getting pulled apart because you're not fucking holding the position properly when you're like, it's just, I remember I talk about this one a little bit. The head, what are they called? Flowmaster. Flowmaster Matt Swift. He's a big dog around these parts. He's not really involved in CrossFit much anymore.
I think he works now for the education department in CrossFit.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was taken aback on my first day in the first hour. We were in a breakout group. I had my arms folded. He grabbed my arms. He put them to my side and he says, my trainers stand tall without their arms folded. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, okay, I stand wrong here.
I had a similar thing because I try not to do it now, but I used to coach with my broomstick quite a lot. It was like a little safety blanket for me. And I
saw a video of me doing it this week in an Instagram video. I was like, fuck, Nick. I'm like, yes, my stick.
But I felt so safe with it.
So is it Rafiki?
Yeah. And I can't remember who my flow I might have had Lily at one point. Anyway, just literally ripped it from my hands. And I was like, I don't know what to do with my arms. Like, I literally don't know what to do. And then I felt just so naked.
One of my favorite stories
Exposed.
from yours is the boys in the.
Oh, yeah. I'd never, because I don't really ever coached here. And the boys that we have here are all weirdly mobile.
Strange.
And so my breakout group was all boys. I was the only girl. And no one could hold a front rack with a broomstick. Like, they weren't mobile enough without the weight. And I was like, I don't know if they're taking the piss. Like, I don't know what to do. And then I kept getting in trouble for not like getting a better front rack out of them. I was like, I don't think they can. Like, that's
Like,
it.
what do you want? What do you want?
I don't know what's going on. It was like
Very eye-opening.
eye-opening.
And
yeah.
like so humbling.
Yeah.
Because you finish your L1 and you've got 5 years. 5 years?
Yeah, I think so.
Before you
4
have
or
to
5,
do
something like that.
your L2 or redo your L1. And so you do your L1 and you go out in the world, you open a fucking gym if you're an idiot, and you're your own boss for all this time. I think I only had my L1 for 2 years before I did my L2 though.
Yeah.
So I definitely did it prematurely. And then you go sit your L2 and you're like, I'm actually a piece of shit. This is great.
Why am I here?
Yeah. I was like, I own a
I'm
gym.
awful.
This is
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah. Literally the whole weekend. Like, I remember leaving I think I told you this. I think I even messaged you. I left
Yeah.
the first day. I was like, I'm not going back
Yeah.
tomorrow. Like, I cannot go back there.
I remember. I was
I
like,
am
oh God.
so terrible at coaching. Like, why did I think this was a good idea?
Yeah.
And in those high pressure moments, all eyes are on you
Yeah.
and your brain gives you nothing. It's like,
Because like everyone,
oh,
like the moment everyone's staring at you and you have to come up with an answer, you're like, I don't know.
yep.
I'm stupid.
It's like beep, bop, 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 bop. That's all that's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the level 2 was like, yeah, night and day difference to level 1. And it's like, I really love listening to people talk. Like, I learn best by listening. Like, level 1's lots of theory lectures, and I was sitting there the whole time like, oh, I love this. This was so great. And level 2 was like 20 minutes of that, and like, all right, everyone get up. And I was like, no, not again.
Please, God, no. Please, not more role
Let's
play.
do another lecture. Someone else lecture something.
And I'm definitely the opposite. But I did, like, I've talked about it before, like, I'm not a very good theory person.
Yeah.
I don't love exams. I don't love written things. That's not how I'm wired, but I've always just loved CrossFit stuff. Yeah. If I can understand it, I'm passionate about it and I believe in it, then I feel like I can actually
Learn
listen.
it and take it in. Yeah.
So the lectures in the L1, I was also like,
They're so good. I love them.
and I just remember Lily's legs.
They're so long.
She'd be up on a box.
Yeah, she's so tall.
And just how good she is at jumping.
Yeah.
Incredible. On a
Like,
box and landing.
Hip extension.
Oh, incredible.
Great.
Like little 22-year-old me, like, wow, this lady's legs. She used to wear the shortest shorts and longer socks back then.
Oh, back in the day. So good.
Very fun.
Have you thought about your L4?
Yeah, I'll like the moment I did my L3, I'm like, I'm ready, coach, put me in. I'm ready.
Keep it going.
Keep it going. Yeah, I don't know if they've done any in Australia.
Yeah, I don't think they have. I think, yeah, would you have to fly them out, or would they just like advertise dates, do you think?
Well, this is before they put it on hold. They put a thing out that was like, if there's enough of you in one area, then you can, like, I think it was like 3 to 5 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. If you can get enough of you that want to do the exam, they'll get, and your gym can be a host gym.
Yeah, right.
So huge benefit for us. If we were a host gym, we know the members. So you're literally coaching all of your own members.
All of you,
Yeah.
shut up and listen.
was
You
like-
squat a bit bad and let me
Yeah.
fix it.
All right, we're going to play some role play today, guys.
We're all in exam prep together.
But yeah, I would actually I'd probably not rather do it here, to be
Yeah,
honest. I'd rather
yeah.
go and act somewhere else. Be on display.
Because they were like, who are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
She never coaches like this.
She calls me a dickhead 3 times a week, so I'm confused.
So funny.
But yeah, I would love to do it. I feel like yeah, that would be just that next level of proof that you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Or you're a
not.
piece of shit.
You're really not.
Either one. And I think it's such a different pressure
Yes.
situation.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you? Did you finish your L3 yesterday and put me in coach or?
Yeah, I think same. Like I always want to be better.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like the next thing.
Yeah. I think once like I said before, once they put it out there, the L3 and L4 became available. I think we both would have got that email and been like, yep,
Okay.
one day, motherfucker.
Yeah.
We're going to do that.
Yeah, and I remember doing my level 1 and being like, I'm going to be a red shirt one day. I don't know if I want to go that far, but like next level, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. Anything else, Baxter? No other things. I think that's...
skis.
Oh, that's pretty solid. I think that's 40 minutes.
Oh, that's good. Good
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm very
Thanks so
proud.
much.
It's very exciting. And like
you.
you messaged me as soon as you got it, how fucking cool are we? This gym, a women's gym run by all women, and the manager and the owner both have their L3. Name another one.
I think it would be pretty rare to have 2 L3s in the same gym.
Yep. Yeah, you're probably right. And yeah, just obviously we're very passionate about women doing the things. I think even women in these roles, I think is rare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In this industry.
I wonder what the split is, like male coaches to female coaches.
There's
in the CrossFit
always,
space.
every course I've ever done, there's always way more boys and girls.
Always, yeah.
In the CrossFit world. Every affiliate thing we go to, there's always more boys. But I think a lot of the women owners, and this isn't to take away anything from them, but their partners run it with them.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
always like husband
It's
and
like
wife.
a partnership, yeah.
And yes, I have a husband, but he does not run this gym. This is me and Candice.
You're my husband and wife.
He mows the lawn and does some things on the computer, every quarter.
Some tax
Yeah, some
related
tax
things. Yeah.
So I don't think there would be many in this.
Doing it for the girl.
Absolute vagina swinging episode. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.